Here we go. There we go. Folks. I just realized I need more. I need more tubes. Just realized that. I'm streaming over here. Just let you know. What's the volume of our PCR reaction? Do you remember how much we used? Or did you use a separate? Because I was just going to put my binding buffer directly in here and then put it inside the. Okay, so that's what you. Okay, I just want to make sure because I was like I didn't want to make a whole new set of just lazy. You sent yours off for sequencing?
No, not yet.
No, okay. I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow on how to do that.
Yeah, okay.
All right. You took notes? Let's see. 40, it's 1 to 1, okay. What kind of smartish are you trying to teach us stupids today? No, y'all are not stupid. Binding buffer sounds kinky. No, okay. So, so we did some CRISPR stuff. We edited some genes and put them into our yeast strains. No Shanny yeast strains, of course. And so we need to send them off in order to be sequenced because we believe that the ones that we've CRISPR'd have worked because we put them through another reaction, and then they there's a way that we verified. I'm not going through PCR stuff, but we verified it that some of them did work, and so in order to see the actual genes themselves and make sure that they're there, we're sending them off to be sequenced. So that's the hopefully I've articulated that enough so that y'all understand what I'm doing. But the reaction that I'm talking about is kind of messy, and so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to clean off all of the excess stuff that did not go into the reaction, things that did not react, and some of the reagents that was mutated, or I should say edited, not mutated, edited in the way that we think they were. So 40 microliters for the binding buffer?
Yeah.
Okay. And actually, we have a printer, don't we?
It's not on.
It is not? Okay, I'm gonna fix that. So no, because I just realized I had it on here, but I'm now, that was smart. What company for sequencing? That's a good question, actually. I'm about to ask that. Creating COVID-22, maybe. Just maybe. Let me see. Cross-contaminant, wait. Do you require protocols to reduce cross-contamination product? No, not from what I understand. Okay. I am kind of sad that one of my reactions did not work at all. One of the main ones that I was hoping to work, just completely fucking failed. Just none of them worked. I had 4 different samples of that. It was, for those of you curious, AFT1, the gene AFT1 yeast. It's a transcription factor for the iron regulon. Didn't work at all. That's why I had to sit down and figure out what I did wrong and re-CRISPR it. I don't know what you want to call it. So Shanny's yeast didn't mutate. It did not. School starts tomorrow. Little fucker. Yeah. So one of the other guys in Discord, his kid started last week. My kid started this week, and so everybody persecuting Chris relentlessly. Oh, it's Trogdor Jr. You're funny. I love Trogdor Jr. B1, B4, B1, B2, B4, D3. No, actually, yeah, no, it's 6 each. 3 each, 6 total. B1, B2, B4, D2, D3, D4. So I might want to do this. So I should probably wait to thaw it out a little bit more. Wait till they thaw it out just a little bit more. Yeah. E1 through 4 didn't work at all. Started in Orlando last week, yeah. A lot of kids are starting to go back. They start this week? Okay. Oh. When did I get a lot of lab? It's going to take me. Oh, same. After this, I might go bra shopping. No, I am actually. That's like I was joking with my PI earlier. But here we go. I'm starting to do that. I can't wait till we get a new building. Messes broke again. I think CRISPR has a few kids, so I know she's happy. All right. An X-ray machine. No, this is just an old building. It's just an old building. That's all. Shit happens. And I'm just waiting for these to thaw out a little bit more. Yeah, I'm trying to. I should turn on slow mode. I don't know how to do it. What time we get out of lab? An hour and a half. Yeah, so I try to catch your comments, follow Gina. Yeah, I might put up a picture of my gel. There is some contamination. Wait, ideally we separate PCR setup and product for that reason. Yeah, so I should show you my my actual gel. There's a lot of undigested material, and I can tell, like, because you have that blurring. I guess you can call it blurring. And there's definitely a lot, and so that's why I'm doing the PCR cleanup. But some of the bands I got were clean as shit. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I've not run PCR in a while, so who knows? But there's definitely a lot of, I think so, because I always get this mixed up when I'm doing RNA versus like a DNA fucking gel. Where that blurring or obscuring happens, one of the locations, because I know some happens at the bottom and then some ends up happening at the top, and I always get it confused. One is due to contamination and the other is due to undigested material, and I can never remember which is which. I always get confused. So, WAG, what's up? I always get confused every single time, because the way that I read my gel is that there's probably some contamination in, well, the samples I didn't use, like for instance, B3, all that's a clear band, but it's obscured right above and below it. But then if you look at the bottom of the gel, there's just tons of shit down there, and they're little fragments too. They're little fragments, just based on the ladder. Like and I think it's just a bunch of undigested junk. So. Yeah, it was agarose. Yeah, it was agarose. I think it was maybe 1%. It was a few weeks ago. So, and helping slime mold a space station too. Yeah, no, they're actually there's NASA, because I get emails about opportunities. They're looking into not hydroponics. It was some endeavor. They were trying to figure out how they can grow something up in space station to help sustain spacefarers, I guess if you want to call them that. I need to sit down and read that email again, because they explained what the project was trying to do, and then these are just like the steps leading up to eventually you see what I mean? It was interesting, but not really my area, because I think they were looking for someone with more of an engineering background. For what it was, some system, I forget what it was, but they're doing some high-speed shit. Maybe one day, so it should be done by now. Actually, for food, no, I don't think it was that. No, like I said, I'm gonna have to look at it again. Let's see. Yeah, you also check the NASA website. There's some cool stuff on there. Knowledge about warfare and blood, farm level. I know very little about that. I might as well not even just have this here. Yeah, I just changed that to lab. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to ignore you. We can go to. No, man. Yeah, what information is here. All right, so hopefully it's not going to keep going out. Like I said, this is an old building that signals shit. You'll just have to watch. All right, distraction. That's. All right, let's try this again. Very careful, not touch the sides. Last ones. Second one. 3. All right. Transfer total. All right. Need a better setup than this. Okay, let's see if it's okay if I put it back over here. We're gonna find out. Start cutting out again. I gotta put it back up high. All right. Lab, little person, black one was. Oh, okay. I see. Y'all. So now I have 80 total. Yeah, 80 microliters, so I need to transfer. This is following a recipe. Any of y'all can do this. Explaining why you're doing it. That's the hard part. Not losing track of it. Being out of the lab for over a week. So, you know what? I know what I should have did. I should have marked this beforehand. To label them. Yeah. That's my lab partner. So, One, two, three, four, five, six. Kathy, which one of your transformations didn't work?
It was from 272 phosphate. Remember?
272, and that was your PMA1 mutant, or that was going inside your PMA1.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you? Was that for? It wasn't for iron homeostasis, was it? What was that's?
No, it's for like it has the GFP marker.
Oh, okay. So you could measure fluorescence. That's right. Okay. So me and you both have to end up redoing that. 1, 2, 3. One extra. Yeah. Label these. Diagnose Shandy the underbelly swab. I'd rather not. That's disgusting. CB1. So I'm just labeling these so I can keep track of them. I should have did this beforehand. 2. B4. Like anything to eat today. Not the brightest thing to do. You need to be thinking. Not the best thing. 3. D4. Doesn't want to. Yeah, I already know what's under there. I would. It's funny. I would, if she sent me a sample, I would actually catalog it. I'm not even joking. I would. It's like, all right, I got plenty of strains in there. Just add that one in there. Okay. That's disgusting. That's nasty. Actually, so you want? Yes, okay. I spend money on oligos and the reagents and stuff, not that. Hank's been going off all morning because of you. It has he. Somebody was saying that Mrs. Parker was reviewing him. Yeah, see, I said what I had to say and I left, and I'm y'all see what I'm doing. Like I haven't even looked at it. I don't care. I probably won't unless someone sends me a clip. That guy's so sad. On them big words. What big words, y'all? What you talking about, man? What you talking about? Yeah. You trying to convince people he's not upset? Good luck. Fun with that. B1, B2, B4. This should be D2. Okay, D2. That one that way. D3, D4. Okay. Wait, what? That's what he said? No. Are you serious? Is he doing the you're using big words? Oh my God. Tell me that you're insecure without telling me you're insecure. Oh my God. Is step 2 to transfer into the column? Oh, your pipette. Never mind.
Just a second. Yes.
Okay. This is about debate panel. Yeah, that's not a debate. I debate my equals. My friend, y'all. Y'all having too much fun with that. Place the R's in people's name with W's. Don't do it. No. I know what I'll do with myself. So sad. You think? I got a serious question for y'all. When y'all think that they'll realize that the jokes that they're using on me, I guess you want to call it that. When do y'all think that they're going to realize that I was the one who planted those jokes in their community in the first place? None of them are smart enough to go back to my older streams to see that I'm making those same exact jokes about myself. That's probably like the best part. They still don't know that I'm playing them. Yeah, I don't think they will. The vast majority of them aren't bad people. They're just dumb. They're emotional. I'll say they're not dumb. They're just being emotional. I won't fall for that trick again, Dragnauct. Okay. All right. You say so. Called you overweight coward, and someone agreed with me. They have no idea. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, Yato. Like this, I've been scoping them out for a while. It's just seeding little things. It's like there was a discourse set up ages ago. Like, come on now. And stuff didn't just happen overnight. But you know what? They're going to show me. One of these days, they're going to show me. They'll get the better of me. Oh, did y'all? You're rather stunted, to be honest. Seems to be a bit of a plague, worse than COVID. Philo, there's just a general, like me and my PI just had a conversation before I went live about like the rampant anti-intellectualism, and especially like in response to COVID. Like it's just one of those combos that he and I have to have because we live in Texas. It's sad. It really is. But it's people like that is why we deal with these issues. Don't judge me for my pipetting technique, by the way. No judgment. I don't want to hear it. It will make me cry. And yes, I'm left-handed. I was gonna mess with my wife and tell her to go on Amazon and buy me some left-handed pipettes. So I can't find any. I'll keep looking. What's going on? They call it Billy racist. That's literally inside joke. Yeah, exactly. Like you can tell who's new. You can really tell who's new, and they're just repeating stuff. And it's like, well, there's things that I've already like seeded into their community without them knowing, and they're just and they all repeat the same thing that each other says. They don't actually look into anything, so they have no idea what they're doing is still being played, and we're just laughing at them at this point. But mandated mask my county semester, work on campus again for the rule coming back. Yeah. I mean, it's you have to do it. I'm going to start wearing masks again, even though I'm fully vaccinated, and I recently took 2 tests. I'm fine, but still, it's just be a good shepherd. Train that many students that I don't judge anymore. Yeah. Are you vending anti-shanty spray? I wish, Cindy. I sell it to you all. I sell it for lots of money. Left-handed pipettes. Gotta use that one, newbies. Yeah, you like that one? I don't know if I told y'all this. Yeah, I told y'all the story when I was in the Army. Yeah, brand new privates, fresh privates. I mean, they just got out of AIT, which is a training to be a medic. These are young guys, 18, 19 years old. And we were teaching them how to do what's called PMCS, Preventive Maintenance Checks and Services on the vehicle, because we have a military ambulance, essentially. And so we were showing them all the parts to check and how to check it. And I took these two young males and I said, "Hey, Washington Turnbull, come here, get over here." I said, "Yes, Specialist Mims." And standing at parade rest. I said, "Hey, relax." I said, "Come here." I said, "I want y'all." Did y'all PMCS this vehicle?" "Yes, Specialist Mims, yes." Roger, Specialist Mims. I said, so you sure about that? Roger. I said, okay, go get TM. I said, matter, and they started going. I said, never, don't even worry about it. Come back here. Go get TM. I said, did y'all check to see if the vehicle has fallopian tubes? Did y'all check the fallopian tubes on the vehicle? No, Specialist Mims, no. I said, God damn it. I said, between the two of you, neither one of y'all checked the vehicle's fallopian tubes. No, Specialist Mims. I said, God damn it. Go to the motor pool office. Go find the E6 in there and go ask him for fallopian tubes for your vehicle. Get out of here. Yes, Specialist Mims. And I said, don't run in the motor pool. I start yelling at them. And they start walking like really, really fast. So later on, they didn't have any fallopian tubes. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it later. So, I shit you not. Like the next day, one of the E6 is in there that knows me. He says, Mims, come here. I said, Roger Sergeant, what's up? He said, did you send 2 privates in here the other day asking for fallopian tubes? I said, Roger Sergeant, yes I did. I said, did. I said, he just shook and said, quit fucking with the privates. I said, Roger Sergeant, Roger. It was funny as shit. I still mess with it. I didn't pull that trick on him, but yeah, that's one of the funny stories. And they still remember that too. They still remember that. The medic doesn't know what fallopian tubes are. Yeah, these are young guys, like really, really, really young guys. Our medic training doesn't really cover female anatomy that much. You could probably imagine why. But yeah, they had no idea. And I could tell, like, because the second I said it, they're just like, oh, what is that? Yeah, so it's you don't get trained too much on female anatomy battlefield. All right, it says I need to centrifuge this. Oh, did she just take off? God damn it. Because usually when I centrifuge and there's flow through, there's something to catch the flow through. Like I got to put this inside another tube, and the flow goes through the tube, but it's not telling me to do that, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's sad. Like it's really sad that I could pull that on them, but it shows you right there, right? Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna wait for her to come back because I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to put that tube in another tube and then centrifuge it, but I'm just gonna hold off. Yeah, strange. Anyway, that's not the only thing. What was the other? I pulled another one on them too. Oh, there is a. I don't think I have any of this. Army folks in the chat. I don't think so. There's actually Xavier knows. Xavier, what's the name of the check that you have to do like each month on all the vehicles, where you have to turn the vehicles on and you have to get the hot samples from the engine oil, transmission, and there's some other shit that you got to do. But you have to leave the vehicle running for like an hour or some shit, and then drain the fluids, put them in a collection tube, and then bring them to the motor pool warm. I can't remember the name of that particular check, but that's something we got to do. And these, again, brand new privates, they don't know anything, and I'm showing them how to do that. Oh, the flow through. Do we not put this in another tube for the flow through, or did you just leave it in here?
No, we put it in the tube.
Okay, because I was confused because it didn't even say, like, because these are the collection, or these are the columns, but did I? Okay. Oh, here they are. Okay, I'm dumb. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I found them. Okay, they were in the other box. All right. All right. Well, that was dumb. So there's some type of check that you have to do on your vehicles like once a month, and we have to get the oil to the mechanics hot, so they can analyze it to make sure that I guess they check the health of the engine or whatever. And so I had these privates go ahead and collect their oil samples. Then I said, hey, did you guys get an exhaust sample? Now, the exhaust sample is something in a few different trades and fields that people people pull on new folks. And so we have those thick plastic, those black plastic bags, trash bags. And so I didn't have them touch the actual exhaust pipe. I'm not that mean, but I had them sort of stand back and then hold it open and collect the exhaust coming out, and then make sure that they didn't let any escape, and that they tied it up and brought it to the motor pool. I did kind of get in trouble for that. That one I did. I think it was the E7 there. He's like, look, like, I get you want to have fun, but don't do that shit again. All right. But why? Because it was funny as shit. That's why. No, like they knew it was in good fun. It's like, it's not malicious. It's not malicious at all. Because the guys who trained me, they're mean as fuck. Like I don't talk to them because they're just dickheads. Let's see how hard he works. The job is essential. School learning is good. Will Shane's children ever find out real world? Those kids are fucked. I just, like, it's sad. It's sad. Like, I would pay for those kids' therapy, honestly, because it's so sad. What can you do? Okay. So I have to remember how the centrifuge works. Give me a second. Can't be too hard. 45 seconds on full speed. Okay. 30 to 60 seconds. How do I select the time? How does it work, George? All right. My centrifuge. All right. So I got a little bit of time. Lucky bro, manipulation tactic Shanny taught him to. Hopefully, you know. I kind of stopped having hope for humanity. Save the column. Add 700 wash buffer to the column. So we're going to do 700 microliters. Let me use up the. Jesus, hardly anything in there. Let's say 700. 700. There's nothing in there. It's a wash buffer. Wash. Okay.
Do you mind if I get some PCR?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, maybe it's sad somewhere. should have enough. Yeah, that's 6 samples. Okay, yeah, I got it. You said this sequencing company can do it in 1 day, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. Just trying to get an idea.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are you gonna send it tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll just send mine off tomorrow. I'm not in a big rush. I wanted to spend more time trying to figure out what went wrong before I started again.
Yeah.
So I'm not in a huge rush. So,
Okay.
what kind of lab is this? It's a special lab. It's a biochemistry lab. Swing down pellet. No, not this time. I'm doing a PCR cleanup, Rayward. I ran, I work with yeast, so we're trying to CRISPR in 2, I guess you could say 3. It's 2 genes, AFT1 and ROX1, but I have 2 alleles of ROX. So both alleles of ROX worked. AFT didn't. So I'm doing a PCR cleanup. We're going to sequence the samples and verify, that they've been successfully transformed, all that shit. And then I gotta figure out what went wrong with my AFT1. So that's gonna be fun. So flow through. Look at that. Want to see flow through? Yeah. Dump this. Yeah. I'm using the Thermo Scientific kit. Well, I'm actually using 2 separate kits. A part of me wants to just homogenize my 2 wash buffers here, but I don't think it actually matters. It's a wash, So, the other one is a Roche. Yeah. So I'm using stuff out of the Roche kit, the PCR purification kit. I'm using stuff out of the Thermo Scientific PCR purification kit. That's your wash step before you spin. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I did the pelleting and stuff like that when I was. Actually, when we were doing the yeast transformation, we were doing the E. coli transformation. That's when we were pelleting shit. Big old pellets, big old huge pellets, like gigantic ones. And then we ended up growing the yeast twice into log phase, and then not having enough time, and then like putting them on ice and then getting them to go back into log phase. That was fun. That was real fun. And then checking them, like we're using an OD meter just to check to see if they're going in the log phase. I mean, it's a rough estimate, right? Because a rough doubling time is what, every hour and a half, I think. So. That's something for work with fish tissues. Oh, okay. You work with zebrafish, don't you, Rayward? If I'm not mistaken, I think you work with zebrafish. I might have you confused with somebody else, which are fascinating little animals. A buddy of mine, I think, worked with blood flukes for zebrafish, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yeah. Look, this opportunity was there. I was like, I work with yeast. That's fine. Evolutionary and phylogenetics guy. I see. So you've seen a dog turn into a non-dog, haven't you? I was afraid he was rolling his eyes in the back of his head. Okay. I had to. People troll me with that shit all the time, mentioning who. I had to. Here we go. Looking for my other pipettes. Tips. Work with human blood. Human blood is very interesting. Oh, here's a question for you science types. For hemoglobin, right? Here's something for you science types. Is the iron in hemoglobin, is it a cofactor or is it a prosthetic group? Argue. Tell me what you think and why. Oh, so it sounds like was that Luxy convalescent plasma? Is that what it is? No, it's a boy. It's a boy. Okay, yeah, I've heard of that, Luxy. Not too familiar with that actually, other than like a cursory glance at it. I think of an article or something I was looking at a while back. Okay, so Sky Falling says it's a prosthetic group. Okay, let's see what some other folks say. All right. So that. Let's see what some other people say. Hey, blood. Yeah. Another follow guy. Jeez. Hey, you guys chose phylogenetics. Is like, I'll full disclosure. Like Philo and Raver, you guys are, I consider OGs to the channel. I lost my love of phylogenetics and evolutionary biology because of the stupid shit that we would talk about for hours with the idiots. And I feel kind of bad about that too, because it is a really fascinating topic. But it's just been sullied by stupidity. Isn't that fucked up? What's going on with more blood taking? What's going on, man? You alright? Alright. So it's first wash. Let me see. Let's see how much I got of centrifuge. Okay, just do the same thing I did for the other one.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so I'll just put it back in there 45 seconds. Jelly substance mix cadaver bone, surgical holes, bone, use implants, very interesting. Oh, that sounds fascinating, Luxy. I'm liking you more and more. That is very interesting, actually. Reconstituted human. Right. So, lose my love for it. I just can't talk about idiots like Utah anymore. Yeah, and I would say if you want to keep your love, don't. Because carnivorous, I don't know how long you've been around, but I would talk to these guys for hours and hours, almost every day. Like, ask some of these guys, some of the OGs of my channel, I would spend 6 to 8 hours on some days talking to these guys about this shit. And you eventually that's why I kind of lost my love for it, you know? You only talk about the same thing for so long, over and over again. That miss emptying containers with blood and tissue at the end of the day. Yeah, ugh, I can imagine how it's congealed nasty. I'm sure that's an understatement. I'm sure that is absolutely an understatement. I like hearing about what some of you guys do. It's fun. Like normal psychology. Genomics is a bit more interesting to me. Also, eDNA, how I found drag looking DNA videos. DNA and water, please, Philo. Please don't tell me the Ronnie stuff is not how you found me. Come on. After the first wash, infuse, second wash, 200. Okay. All right, so just use 200 this time.
Can I borrow this?
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Yes, and phylogenetics had advanced so much. Oh, the Ronnie stuff. You know how bad that makes me feel that you found me the Ronnie stuff. Like I don't know. Like it's kind of I have mixed feelings about how people find my certain content. I don't regret doing it, but it's just like ugh. It was a bad taste in your mouth. The guy arguing with people who actually put DNA in water about whether DNA goes in water. You know? It's like, come on, bro. You know he's still around, right? He still watches all this. He watches all this. Whatever happened to True? No, he's around. He watches everything. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's still around. He hates Sam with a fucking passion. Still, to this day. Yeah, I came across Dragon Ronnie. Oh, those are some fun. I will say, you know what? I never like Ronnie wasn't malicious like Negs and some of these other people. He was just dumb. Like he was dishonest, yeah, but he was never malicious. You know what I mean? And that's what I kind of miss about him. That he would bullshit, just like a lot of people do. But I don't think he was. I can't remember a time where Ronnie was overtly malicious. I don't think. You know, Drew got so angry when you point out he had no education biology track quiz. Oh yeah. Oh, he can't stand that shit. I found out that he that's why he stopped talking about chemistry and shit. Because we kept challenging him, pointing out how much he didn't know. Because before you found my channel, I was watching Ronnie for a long while. That's actually, Ronnie is one of the reasons I started my channel, believe it or not. Part of it was encouragement from Arn Raw while I was on the Magic Sandwich Show, but a big motivator was watching Ronnie. Because he would, you know, do that thing where he would try and quiz other people, and then like posture. Specifically with him and Suzuki Das, and that's an old name very few people remember. But oh yeah, I said, you know what? I'm making my mission to expose him. It's funny throughout the years. If you look at Ronnie, like, cause when I first started off, you know, I'm just a lower enlisted in the Army. I don't know shit about chemistry. Now, you know, so dick all I was doing. Let's see. I found out. What's the saying? I found out you were intelligent when you realize how much you don't know. You can tell stupid people pretend that exactly. Hey, Ray, I wish I could not that comment. I can't pin that. I can't do that. That is exactly it. Seen some ACA stuff as well. Infamous G Slave video. Oh my goodness, yeah. That's that. Ray, you know how hard it is to communicate that to other people. Like it is real. It's because it's so unintuitive. There was a point when I just started grad school that I realized how much. Actually, it was toward the end of my undergrad, near the beginning of grad school, where it was like I understood how much I didn't know. And then once you see that disparity, that's when you truly begin to learn. That, like, you become a seasoned or learned person once you understand that. And it's humbling, right? There's a sobering, so almost like a watershed moment that happens when you come across that, and it is you get almost, I guess, galvanized in your pursuit of whatever it is that you're doing for your degree or your field, because there's so much. Like I could sit here and talk about certain enzymes that I've worked with and shit like that, but there's a whole slew of things, biochemical pathways that I've never touched, and probably will never touch. But trying to, but I can make a whole video about that. Honestly, I can make a whole fucking video about people. And I actually, if you watch the line, Rayward, I've mentioned this on the line about there's different reasons why certain people like come on the internet and some of these platforms. Some of them just want to come on and have the ego stroked, and some other people genuinely do want to learn or just be entertained. So it depends what you're here for. I think the next step is doing another centrifuge without a wash.
What step are you on?
Right after the 200 microliter wash.
Yeah, just centrifuge.
Just centrifuge again? Okay.
For 1 minute.
For 1 minute? Yeah. Let's see. Ow. I just like learning about stuff in general, whether I do what drag is up to and air is still interesting. Yeah, no, there's all type of stuff. Like if you asked me 5 or 6 years ago if I'd be working in a biochemistry lab, research on cell aging, I'd say no, I'm not a fucking biochemist. Like I like biology, but I presented this stuff. I've always loved chemistry. Don't get me wrong. I didn't make the best grades in it. Don't mistake it. Like I've taken chemistry 1 and 2 in the lab, general chemistry 1 and 2 in the lab. I've taken organic chemistry 1 and 2 with the labs. I've taken biochemistry 1 in the lab. I've taken biochemistry 2. I've had biochemistry research as an undergrad for like a semester and a half. But I mean, I just so happen to have a lot of chemistry, and there's opportunities available in the field, and it's interesting. It is interesting. Arrogance and ignorance. Yeah. Oh yeah. So let me decant this real quick. Everybody do me a favor real quick. Put 1 in the chat. Everybody who's watching right now, for a second. When you pull up to a red light if you're listening, put a 1 in, just a number 1 in the chat. Oh, see you later. I think that's about half the people watching. Okay, now I think we're about to approach 30 people. I lost count. Everybody say hi, Rev. All right, after after the dry spin. Actually, yeah, no. We should loop at 25 microliters. And new. Okay. Actually, let me spin it one more time. Just in case. Hey, Rev. How you doing, buddy? You know that he still watches me, right? Do I play music? If it's just me, I'll play music. Magic Cash App Rev. There you go, buddy. See, people care. Here's a screenshot. He's still subscribed to me. And I know he likes watching stuff like this because of the stuff I put up on Patreon. Okay. Here's the bit of advice. Philo, you're fucked up, bro. That's funny, though. Alright. I'm spending one additional time just to make sure. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. I'm going to a loop with 25 milliliters of Lucian buffer. P200. There we go. I really like these Rainins. These Rainins are the shit. Virginia Slims. I'm going to buy some more Virginia Slims. Y'all tell I'm not a smoker? Could you tell? Transfer to these tubes. All right, B1. Okay, B2. D4. Yeah. D4, yes, D4. This is B4. D2. Yep. I see why I label stuff ahead of time. Very important. Very important. Label things ahead of time. Last one is D3. Make sure you throw away the right thing. All right. D3, D2, D1, wait, no, 2, 3, 4, 4, B2. I'm scared. I have the caps closed just in case. I open them up when I'm ready to use them. Learned my lesson a long time ago about that. Actually, you science types out there, have you ever worked with the PCR tubes, little bitty, like the line of the ones I was working with earlier? Did you ever try to open one and then accidentally flick the whole thing and then some of the reaction fell out because you did that? Yep. What am I doing? I am doing what's called a PCR cleanup. I got the super chat yesterday. Wait. What did you say? I got to super chat you yesterday, even though you said not to. Yeah, I saw you. You're disobedient. Next is Red with half a clue. Is he? It's fair. What do you think about the crackhead saga Chantal currently going through? I'm still trying to understand what's going on with that. I'll talk to you right now. Yeah, I'm really so I don't I know people are kind of alluding to the fact, and I don't think I've heard anybody just overtly like say this, but it seems to be out there in the ether that Chantal and Shannon are fabricating this for views. I really don't want to think that. I really don't. I think a part of me is torn. I think she's in denial. I think there's something happening, right? Obviously, but I don't think that if I were her, would I admit to something like that live? Probably not, you know. But she can't help but to overshare, and she's already said too much, so she can't take it back. So she's just trying to play this game where she doesn't want to lie anymore. But you get what I'm saying? So I'm torn, and that's why I started interacting with her more to kind of see what's going on because I don't know her tells. Like Negs, I know all his tells. Very easy to tell for me. But she is interesting. I want to spend some more time talking to her before I make any final decisions or conclusions. I had to quit a job after the doctor burned the child in the face during surgery. I blame on assistant. Oof, Jesus. Yeah. Faking drama like Nikocado. Yeah, there's one thing to fake a breakup or something, but domestic violence, that's too far. That's really too far, But it's the internet. I don't think they are. I didn't know that either. To reach out there. I don't know. Like none of us actually know that woman, right? None of us actually know her. She puts everything out there. I agree, but sometimes we get too invested in what we think is the case, and it can blind us. And that's why I always have to take a step back and make sure that my own bias isn't clouding my judgment. You know what I mean? Even with idiots who wear their emotions and their desires on their sleeves, it's still good to take a step back and try to consider all the options. Drag, I'm the one who emailed you. I'm the automotive technician for. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you were. And I remember that email. I've been getting a lot of emails lately, so if I don't respond, it's not that I'm not trying to. Is that the semester is about to start, and I'm going to be tutoring folks on the side and doing some other stuff that some people know about, but I'll probably be doing more pre-recorded videos, and I will check the volume. I apologize, I did not check the volume. We had to go support black business yesterday, so I was a little busy getting the apartment clean for the wife, and I was going to start cooking too, but my mother hit me up. Okay, we need to go and check out this business. So, all right, Mom, let's go do it. It was a daiquiri place. Have to be careful not to touch the inside here. What the solution buffer is doing is going to, the genetic material that's stuck inside of here on this white, looks like a white film. The solution buffer is going to kind of absorb my genetic material and break its connection to that white film, and it's going to come out inside this tube here, and that's what I'm going to collect, and that's what I'm going to send out to be sequenced tomorrow. So just real quick, we've had some genetic material, we've amplified it, but there's a lot of garbage, there's a lot of trash in the reaction, and so I need to get rid of all that stuff and just have my genetic material. So that's what I'm doing. You and Vaughn check the volume before every video. Fair enough. Responded, man. I love the channel. Okay. I want to make sure. I do remember seeing the email. Sometimes I do read emails and I won't respond because I want to think about it for a little bit. Chantal's sad, lonely, girl stuck in the body. Yeah, it didn't. I knew that something seemed off about her. Just the way that she rationalizes things, and sort of how they're like the flippant responses. It's like, what? I was thrown off, and it is responsive like a 15-year-old girl, and she's actually a few years older than me, believe it or not. and it's just like there's some sort of arrested development that happened in her life or something. I don't know, but man, she is. I will say this. I will say this because I want to be fair to Chantal. She does have a humor about herself. She can make fun of herself up to a certain degree. She doesn't like being called cokey, which you can imagine why. But you know, the jokes about her hairline. I still think her and Negs go to the same hairstylist, but she thought that was funny, and she was laughing at herself. So you know, apologize to Shanny. Exactly. Be specific. Be very specific. My centrifugeness. Centrifuge for 1 minute. Okay. And then I'm just gonna store it here. Yeah. I'll put it in our orange plate.
Okay.
And then tomorrow I'll do the sequence. Let's take 30 minutes of that. I ain't that late. You did it yours in like 2 minutes, didn't you?
I didn't do mine, but I have to talk to somebody, so.
Oh, you're gonna do yours tomorrow?
I'm doing mine pro today.
Okay. Wait, lunch real quick. So tomorrow. Used to be shirtless in his lab coat. Yeah, I should be, huh? How did you discover? That's a great question. Okay. You want to know how to discover Shannon? All right. I think we'll wait till the centrifuge is done. That's actually a really funny story.
What happened?
Snap the cap. Okay. I got the cap. We need a triplicate anyways. All right. Reload this. Actually, put these up. Okay, oops. That's okay. You're doing construction. All right, so trying to think of how far to go back with this. I fancy myself a guy who said on YouTube celebrity mentioned me in the video. That meant it was cool. Well, I mean, you know. Back in probably 2011, I ran across a lot of a small niche corner of YouTube where people were discussing religion and science and that sort of thing. And during that time, you'll hear it referred to as the Ponage era. This is back when you could respond directly to YouTube videos, and you would see. I don't know how many of y'all remember old school YouTube, where there would be videos underneath like a main video, and those were the responses to that people made to those videos. And so that's how people grew their channels, right? Somebody would make some claim and elaborate on it, and someone would make a response to it, you know, debunking it or owning them or, you know, poning them. And so it would appear underneath their video. And so that's where I sort of came in. I started growing my channel, and I started interacting with people like G-Man and Veckel and True Empiricism. Shani rolled in their circles. And so I met Shani because when me and G-Man would go back and forth or something like that, she would interject herself in there. And Shani, at that period of time, was known for being on the Drunken Peasants, you know, show. And she was on there because she was making YouTube videos telling people that the moon was fake and that it was actually a hologram. Yep. Those videos still exist. That's what Shani's actually known for, and that's how I ran across her. And it's just like she's nuts. So that was my first introduction to Shani. So today is 8. 17. This is PCR. Okay. Let's store these. But yeah, that's how I ran across Channing. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. It's a burnout. Cool. I'm gonna be honest with you, I know very little about Nex's backstory. I just hear stuff from people. I usually, Negs is probably the exception, but I usually invest quite a few months of researching the people before I actively engage them. Like Emo Howling Wolf, I watched him for months before I ever even mentioned him to anybody else. D-Roy Cruz, I watched him for about 3 or 4 months prior. Actually, I knew about him almost a year before I actually engaged him. So, but Negs, he is the exception because I was able to figure him out. Yes, mind you, I usually sit through and I'll watch content of this person for hours. Generally, that's how it usually works before I engage anybody. D-Roy, Emo, whoever. Next, he is a male version of Shani minus like 500 pounds. That's part of the reason. And again, he wears his emotions on his sleeves. So it wasn't too hard. And it's not a testament to really much of anything other than it's just he's fairly simplistic. Is Shani a believer? So, yeah, somewhat. She buys into it a bit, not as much as Rev, but yeah, she. If you listen to some of her videos where she's just sort of talking about how she thinks things work, like the greatest society, there's a lot of overlap, whole lot. Rev definitely is. Rev was QAnon before QAnon. I try real hard to be patient and listen to all his evidence and opinions. He's absolutely manic and there's no reasoning with him. It's sad. Yeah. Oh no, I recognize that very early on. He's a big fan of the tu quoque fallacy. I don't know how many of y'all recognize that. He is a huge fan of that fallacy. Oh my God! Every other thing out of his mouth is a tu quoque. There's a I've caught him using the fallacy of relative privation a few times. It's not that one's sort of rare. There's another one. Oh, just blatant ad hominems, left, right, and center. That's his bread and butter. But there is another one. There's another fallacy that he's just random non sequiturs. But that's a given. That's kind of a given. There's one. So I guess it'd be five. No, I'd have to go back and listen to that conversation he had. There's actually another. There's the stream he did where he was reviewing me and Callie, and some of the stuff that he was saying was pretty funny. But yeah, that tu quoque. Oh my goodness, I don't think he could speak if he could not use logical fallacies. Like if you stopped him from speaking fallaciously, he'd never talk. He would never speak at all. Period. Like that's how reliant he is on fallacious logic. And it's sad because you can't, like, if you know, you know. This is one of those things. Trying to explain to him and his simps why that's bad would take so much effort that it's too funny to even try. But so I'm just sort of going to use this content just for entertainment purposes and to kind of slowly educate some of you all who may not be familiar with those names of fallacies, because I think it's a great example of people who are overly confident, but they're not very well educated at all. And there's a huge disparity. And people know, so Drag's talking about the Dunning-Kruger. Yes, I'm referencing the Dunning-Kruger syndrome. I am. He's a perfect example. Can't be good for his blood pressure. Angry. Well, he has to take health breaks. I've caught on to that, even from Twitter. So he gets emotionally invested in this nonsense, and that's his problem. So that was that's why just my mere presence bothers him. And that's something that I will exploit in the future. But yeah, he's probably on the verge of another mental health break. Poor guy. This shit is hilarious to me. Like I like at some point they're gonna realize that I stage content to put up just to fuck with them at certain intervals, and then I'm off doing my day and not even worrying about anything. And I come back and I get all these messages. Oh my God, he's still going live. And I'm like, really? Oh, that's crazy. It's almost like I purposely at certain intervals put out things to tag him and certain content to antagonize him, and he just falls for it every single time. Like it's just at a certain point, it's like it becomes less of a challenge, and it just gets boring. So I was hoping to step his game up. Trying to explain anything, any logic, bad thing. Yeah, no, I'm not. There was one valuable exchange that he had with someone recently who had said, hey, yeah, you had said that you didn't ask for this information. This person randomly sent it to you. And I saw a video that contradicts that, where you explicitly say that you requested it and you were actually thanking the guy for getting it to you so quick. And so he said, yeah, so what? And then blocks him. And that sort of confirmed something that I had thought, that what he's doing is he's culling anyone who's even remotely objective. So you think about it for a second. If you have people that you're emotionally invested in, somewhat at least, but they're more so emotionally invested in you, they're not objective, they're not deep thinkers, they're not critical thinkers, they're not, skeptical, and you just block anybody who is, well, who are you left with? Supplicants. You're left with mindless, mouth-breathing supplicants. And so that's why you see the dynamic, and it's not a surprise that you can't break through that, because he has created a culture that sort of incentivizes that behavior. And I think that's probably why they were so susceptible to the ruse that Mrs. Parker pulled on. Like even now, like the comments they make towards me, they have no idea that I've planted that in their own community ages ago. So yeah, it's an echo chamber delusion. Absolutely. And it's kind of it's more like a hive mind, if that helps people illustrate that better. It's a hive mind. A problem with the hive mind is that there's no checks and balances, and so you can put in bullshit into the hive mind and it'll spread like wildfire. And that's what I've been having fun with them. Like, they have no idea how much stuff that they are repeating is stuff that I've purposely put into the hive mind ages ago, before I randomly decided to start antagonizing him. But That's why it stops being fun for me when they don't realize that, you know. I asked Nate last night on his live why he didn't let you on, and he did deflect and block me. Of course he did. Yeah. Next, look, he's a silly little man, but Next isn't stupid. He knows he can't control himself around me, and he knows that I have him dead to rights. He's not dumb. Him staying in a protracted conversation with me would only make him look bad. He, I, and everyone else knows that, except some of his most dedicated followers. But Negs isn't dumb, and he's smart not to do that. Actually, I actually applaud him for having some self-awareness, because he would not last very long with me. But if he can't overtalk you, then what does he have? You know, so it is what it is. It's not me stroking my ego. Like he's not. It's not like he's a contender. He knows his weaknesses, and it's important to understand. You know, your limitations. I shouldn't say weakness. He understands his limitations quite well. I was shining money. I forgot to fire me a cigarette. His last stream was nothing but him trying to light little fires everywhere. Oh yeah, no, that's what he's gonna do. But revealed yesterday on the Next, as far as I'm concerned, you're spot on. Oh yeah, no, I've been watching. Like, people need to pay more attention to nonverbal body language. Nonverbal communication, such as body language. Clarify that. His is very expressive. He is probably one of the most expressive people I've seen, next to Nick Bravo. Nick Bravo's body language reveals a little bit. Von Helton, kind of. G-Man, absolutely. But Negs is up there. Next, he completely changes his sitting posture when he's confident. Like if you actually look, and I challenge some people, when he is confident, he gets closer to the camera. Have y'all noticed that? He gets incredibly close to the camera when he's feeling confident. He's feeling emboldened. Oh God, he gets real close. And now you can point out, oh, there he goes. But next is cringy and dumb situation. He's entertaining. What's up? Got to drink combos. Next, yeah, he is. I said this earlier. He is a male shanty minus like a few 100 pounds. Actually, we'll go with PF Chang's. Actually, she working on that too. Oh, okay. You do.
I lost one.
Yeah, we'll call it a day after this.
I don't know. I might do something else.
When do you want to make the Euro plates? We want to wait till we get our sequencing back and Friday. If we're not doing Friday, we'll just start Monday.
Next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I want to go ahead and get that done before the semester because you're. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Are you coming in tomorrow? Well, for your.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the sequencing tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Get back Thursday, and then Friday we can deliberate. Because I'm gonna see if I can get him to do a lab meeting, a Zoom for CRISPR. I want to get a good lecture in on that. Body language gives him away. Oh, absolutely. I recently gone down this rabbit hole. Oh my God, Negs wears his emotion on his sleeve. Yes, he does. But when he's corner backtracks and deflects, infuriates me. Oh, Miss Raven Nevermore. That is absolutely true. That is absolute. When you go back and look at on his stream, when DC is sort of confronting him about the stuff, he looks like a kid. I think I said this. He looks like a kid in the principal's office. Like he does understand what he does is wrong, but he doesn't internalize that, and so his reaction is just to sort of lash out rather than say, you know what, maybe I have it's like he'll start to sort of offer some concession a little bit, but he never makes it all the way there to the point that, you know what, maybe I need to take some time to think about my actions. It never reaches that point. It starts, but then there's a full stop, and then he goes, all right. It may just be some defense mechanism. Like there's where's Psych for Life? Where's she at? I'm sure there's a name for this, but I think it's reflexive. I don't think that he consciously does it. Just based on what I observed, because he is so uncomfortable in that moment. He is so uncomfortable, and you can tell that he's internally cringing. But it's sad, right? But he puts himself in that scenario. He does it to himself. And then, like, I guess his supplicants are supposed to, oh, he's upset. Okay, and? Is he not a grown man, not in control of his emotions? Like, what is that? Upset? Okay, so what? So what? Is that, am I supposed to cry? Stop it. Right? You don't get to antagonize people on the internet and then cry when someone antagonizes you back. This is childish. Incredibly childish. Got the gym combo. What you excited about? Haven't caught up on an interview with DC Migro yet. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not too long. And I apologize. I didn't check the volume on that. I had it down low because Shanny's loud, and I didn't change it. And I didn't listen to it or monitor it because I had not listened to that. That was a one take on listening. And so the other video that BGTV sent me was the one where, yeah, Niggs is reviewing me and Callie's interaction. And I was sitting back, I was playing World of Warcraft, and I was listening to it and sort of watching it the next screen. So, and I was every so often I comment, I'm just like, really? Like, there's the comments that he's making. And then I stopped for a second, and I watched his body language as I was making jokes that, by him being short, like childish jokes. And it's incredible. He's oof. So.
I got meetings at 2. Your samples ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have mine ready tomorrow.
Okay. I'll be on Slack, but I got meetings like 6:30 or something.
Oh, holy hell. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. All right.
All right. See you later. Actually, let me see. Where's Xavier? See him come get me. Let me see. Come to Bayou. Okay, here we go. What do you imagine Shanny Rev doing all day with no internet? Do you think the police will get involved? Dinah, somebody actually called me on the phone and was asking me something very, very similar. I'm not too sure. Because you imagine Shanny. So if you didn't know, Shanny spends literally all day on Instagram. I don't know what. I think they still have internet through their phones, so they'll keep entertained through the phone, through their respective phones. But other than that, I don't know. Like, they're probably going to get into it. If she can't be passive aggressive to people on Instagram, she didn't have a life. So I'm not a fan of RSM, but he's getting battered at this point. Part of me feels sorry for him. He genuinely did think, I've heard quite a bit about him, right? And I've watched a little bit and seen some of his responses to criticism and stuff. When I talked to him, and I was sort of watching his body language too, he seems genuinely broken up about this. The problem is that I think he's hitched his horse to the wrong post. He was under the impression. Real Stream News, from what I could tell, genuinely thought that guy was his friend. When I take a step back and I look at their relationship, I don't see a friend. I see someone being used as a pawn. And I don't think Real Stream News realizes that at all. Because if you think about this, what Niggs was asking him to do, it was pretty much, hey, you need to be my bitch. Like, there's not a nicer way to say that, but it probably is. But he wants a supplicant. He wants another supplicant. He doesn't want a friend. My friends don't ask me to do stuff like that. How would you feel, Dragnauct, if Frank had somebody on that didn't like you? Frank's a grown-ass man. That's how I would feel. That's his channel. If Frank wants to have someone on that I don't like or talk shit about me, then so what? So we don't ask each other to do stuff like that. BGTV isn't beholden to me. Like, he has a no-go list of people who can't be on his channel. Like, that's stupid, right? That friend doesn't do that. But I think Real Stream News is probably going to realize now that he was just being used. It was never a friend. I saw a screenshot very recently that was very revealing about the relationship between those two. And so, honestly, Real Stream News is better off without him and just growing his audience and doing his channel the way he wants to. But yeah, I'll talk to Real Stream News tomorrow. Early tomorrow morning, we'll have a chat. And you'll hear me repeat some of this stuff. But, I mean, it's sad. I don't understand why be beholden to somebody like that, of all people, really. Like, maybe it's me, I don't see the appeal of Niggs at all. Like, he's somebody I wouldn't talk to in real life. I mean, talk to him like this, but we'll never hold this. Yeah, oh yeah, he will. But it's what I found fascinating is that Nick's lied to this guy more than once, mind you. Throughout the conversation, he lied. Even before the conversation, he lied, and that's okay. But Real Stream News can't talk to people that Nick doesn't like. Does that make any sense to anybody? Like it's stupid. I'm gonna talk to who the fuck I want to talk to. Like this is not middle school, but you're dealing with adults with the mentality of middle schoolers. And it's just that's why I'm not beholden to anybody. I'm going to talk to and about whoever I want to on my YouTube channel. It's mine. If people don't like it, they can fuck off. That's how it's going to work. I don't care who's mad. Next is upset, and I'm going to jump in the lake. So what if he's mad? Good. He needs to be mad. He needs to stay mad. So what? He's not a nice person. So then again, neither am I. Oh well. Are these your plates, Katya?
No, they're not. I think they're yours.
These are my plates. These are absolutely my plates. Ooh, look at this. I got a nice lawn of mold. That's a beautiful lawn of mold. It's a pretty color. Yeah. It's mold. So I'll explain that in a second. Looks like I'm making hash. Nah. I'll explain in a second, Raven. Oh, I'm sorry.
I need some tape.
I noticed he was weighing this down by putting a pen inside of here. So I just said, well, let me just tape one to the back of it.
That sounds.
Because you start working with it, it starts flipping everywhere. It's like, all right, that's annoying. So, all right. Wish I could set up. Wish I could show you the whiteboard over there, but done a similar thing with someone. I can't get interested in names or drowned, to be honest. Not essential for Shannon. Special case, No, the mold was accidental. Bible quote, Ezekiel 25. I love Ezekiel. The path of righteous man be set on all sides by the iniquities, selfish tyranny of men. I don't think that's the real Bible verse, bro. Hold on. Commitment. Isn't that from the movie with Samuel Jackson? I could have sworn that's, I don't think that's in Ezekiel. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to talk about, actually. Oh, it's asking me what I was doing. Okay. So the work that we do deals with cell aging. And yeast are Pulp Fiction. Yeah, that's a Pulp Fiction quote. So she's working on one gene, and I'm working on a different gene. The genes essentially have a bit to do with how iron gets processed, and this, well, partially to do with how iron gets processed in the cell, and yeast cells in particular, because yeast cells are very, very similar to us and our cells. What ends up happening in aging cells is that you see that there is a loss of acidification. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to mutate certain strains of yeast to resemble those older cells that show a loss of acidity. And when we do that, we're trying to see if we can sort of maybe reverse that process or just change that deacidification or alkalinization. Geez, I can never say that word. Deacidification by manipulating certain genes, in particular a transcription factor that works with the iron regulon. So there's a few sets of genes that regulate iron regulon. There's little molecules called transcription factors that will hop on there and modify that thing, that iron regulon, right? So what I'm trying to do is to see if I activate a gene, a different gene that activates those transcription factors, right, all the time, will that have an impact on how that deacidification, if that makes sense? So there's different ways to go about doing this and different genes involved, and so we're just sort of testing out different things. I hope that was a less convoluted way of explaining what we're doing, because we're doing different things. There are different transcription factors and different genes involved, but I'm trying to make it as succinct as possible because we have our hand in a few different cookie jars. So more ass, we age slower. No. It's so that the loss in acidity is a consequence of aging. So you can drink acetic acid all day long. You're not going to age faster, but normally the cells are supposed to be acidic, right? So you ingesting more acid or less acid isn't going to actually have an impact on that. What makes your cells acidic are different proteins that are pumping hydrogens into the space inside the cell. So as your body is processing, metabolizing different things, this particular, it's called ATP synthase. I was trying to avoid saying it, some of y'all know why, but this ATP synthase pumps hydrogens into the cell by its processes, right? By it metabolizing stuff, and as cells age, they do that less and less and less. So that level of acidity from all that hydrogen goes down. All right, so that's what normally happens. But so we're trying to simulate that environment and then seeing if we can change it by manipulating certain genes, certain transcription factors. So does that make sense? And I have to do a better job of explaining this to other people, no matter their level of education. So this actually helps me. So I need more acid cell code. No. That's not how that works. No. Well, they pump protons combined with phosphorus. Yeah. So we're not going that deep into it, but it's a. Diana, Diana, actually, you have a bit of a background in this. So there's a mutation on one of the subunits on the ATP synthase that hinders that catalytic function that ends up causing it to produce all that hydrogen. So that's essentially what that is. And so we have different strains with that mutation to that particular subunit. Just mess. Okay, yeah, no, I figured y'all were, but I just read like, oh boy. The transcription factor that I typically work with is AFT1, and there's another transcription factor on the iron regulon called ROX1, and that's the other one that I'm working with. She's working with PMA1, and there was actually another. I'm not going to get into those genes. There's FIT2 and FET2. I'm not, but y'all get the point. So that's what's going on. Yes, PMA1. She your person? No, she is my colleague. My wife is my personal assistant. I have her fill out stuff. So this is where make humans age slower. Well, we're trying to understand how aging happens. Well, we have a pretty good idea, right? We see the physical, so cellular aging, right? When we talk about aging, it's usually the outward appearance of aging, right, from our skin and stuff like that. But there is actually aging that occurs on the cellular level that causes what we see what we call colloquially to be aging. And so the more we sort of tease out what happens during this process, we can learn a lot more about how our cells work. I get what you're saying, Dinah. I mean, it's just like, it's one of those things, like people say apoptosis versus apoptosis. You say that, but you know what we mean, you know. I get it, semantic, but here. All right. So take off